over Beethoven. Roll over Beethoven. What's the steps?
Good grief. Can this planet support human life as we know it? It's...
Very Nigel Cochran, very disgusting.
Precisely.
Yeah, sorry, I hadn't noticed. What you doing here this time of night, anyway?
It's 11 in the morning.
Is it? What do you mean I've been down here 20 hours, solid? Why didn't you stop me then?
Oh, because last time I looked in, you said if I interrupted again, you'd kick me in the...
Thank you very much, Lem. What are you on, actually?
Just black coffee and adrenaline.
No, I meant, what are you recording?
Oh, Treachery. My new single. Dedicated to the Inland Revenue.
They just sent him a tax bill.
Well, it's got tax bill written on it, but in fact, it's the final account for the Falklands campaign.
Plus service, plus VAT.
Oh, now I know what time it is. I'm shattered. I think I'll hit the sack.
What about me?
Oh, Lord Lavender, I've waited months for that offer, and now I'm too knackered to take it up.
I mean, I'm supposed to be giving you a piano lesson. Right, look at the state of this place.
Yeah. Rest of the house is just as disgusting. Well, it's very hard, you know, for two bachelors on their Todd.
Why don't you get someone in to clean?
Oh, I don't think I can afford that, what with the taxman putting the bite on me.
But a cleaning lady would only cost you £1 or so an hour.
You sure?
I know someone.
Oh, I knew I could depend on you, though. Oh, sorry, I think I need a good day's kit.
Aren't you going to play me the fruits of 20 hours' labour?
Eh?
Your new song.
Oh, yeah, all right. Slam it on, then.
Yeah?
It's not absolutely finished yet.
Get a good spadesman to plant a small tradesman, first take of his boots with a boot tree, and his legs will take root and his fingers will shoot and he'll blossom and bud like a fruit tree. From the greengrocer tree you get grapes and green peas, cauliflower, pineapple and cranberry, while a pastry cooked raspberry brandy will
do you speak English?
Fox. Yes, of course I speak English. It's my mother tongue.
Oh, that's great. You see, where I come from, all the gardeners are Mexican.
I'm not a gardener, madam. This is my house.
Really? Oh, it's so cute. Is it for sale?
Certainly not.
Oh, that's too bad. I really love all these tiny little English cottages. Tell me, do you know how to get to the Grange?
Are you on foot, or did you come by car?
I have a cab waiting.
Well, you go out of this door here, and down the garden path, turn right straight up the lane, and the Grange is in front of you, but it isn't for sale, unfortunately. Belongs to some damn pop singer.
Oh, I know all about Nigel Cochran.
Oh? What are you, some sort of autograph hunter?
Yeah, you could say that. Mm-hmm. I'd love to get Nigel's autograph on a blank check.
See, like I said before, I mean, it's not that hard a place to keep clean.
Oh, I don't know. It's a lot muckier than the vicarage.
All right. $1.25 an hour.
2.
$1.15.
2.
$1.75, that's it.
Damn.
Well and truly, yeah. Nige.
Oh, he looks older than I expected. But then I've never been that close to a legend before. More careworn.
Yeah, well, you've caught him at a bad time, during the hours of daylight.
Oi, Lem, word in your shell, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Mrs. T. Yeah.
A bit old for you, ain't she?
No, it's not a Paul. It's Mrs. Tibbs, cleaning lady.
Oh, it's a clean. Welcome aboard, Mrs. T.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, I say, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Ugh. My Pauline's little Darren is a big fan of yours.
Oh, pleased to hear it.
Yeah, I can't see it myself. Mind you, they're never the same in the flesh, are they? I don't mean to pry, but aren't you friendly with Mr. Purcell's Belinda?
Oh, yeah, very friendly.
Shame, isn't it? Pretty girl like that wasting her life on a man who don't really appreciate her.
Yeah, but Nigel
Len.
does appreciate her.
Len.
Listen, given half the chance, he could appreciate her a lot. Know what I mean?
No, I meant Mr. Purcell. Not that we don't all respect him, miserable old soldier.
Yeah, you're right there, lad, you're right.
Yes.
I can tell you a few
Lem,
things what
Lem,
go on down there.
Lem,
I'd like to-
Lem. Enough is enough, all right?
Of course, you celebrities can have any woman you take a fancy to.
No, you don't want to believe everything you read in the TV Times, love. We lead a very quiet life up here. We don't even hardly have any women up here. Do we, Lem?
No, we do not.
Except for the piano teacher, of course, and your good self. Apart from that, it's almost what you might call a monastic existence. Hey,
Guess who?
Laura?
Hello, Nigel.
Laura.
Nigel! Nigel, you're in the bath. You must have known I was coming.
And your change, sir.
Oh, God, an endless queue.
Daddy, will you be all right now if I just pop across to the baker's?
Yes, of course I'll be all right. I'm not a child.
Delightful morning, eh, sir?
When I want your opinion, Beckett, I'll ask for it.
Daddy, his leg's playing up.
Don't tell the whole world. Well, run along. There'll be nothing left except factory bread and yesterday's Bath buns.
Yes, Daddy.
And mind the traffic.
Oh, good morning.
hello, Mrs.
Lovely day, isn't it? Ah, good morning, Mr. Purcell.
Morning, Mrs. Tibbs.
Oh, thank heavens it's pension day.
Yes. Although, in your case, Mrs. Tibbs, no doubt your pension is one of a number of sources of remuneration.
Eh?
I trust you've informed... Do you mind? I trust you've informed the Department of Health and Social Security.
About what?
The extra money you earn charing.
That doesn't count.
Nonetheless, no doubt it is cash in hand.
Oh, well, what little there is of it. I only do the vicarage and now the Grange.
I suppose you deserve a little extra for putting up with all that degeneracy.
No. All those stories you hear about the Reverend What's-it Booth are completely without foundation. And Mr. Cochrane and his friend couldn't be nicer. 'Cause they're not normal.
You astound me.
Well, they got different ways, these show business personalities, creatures of the night. When I got up there this morning, they was just going to bed. They don't wear pyjamas, you know. They're in the buff.
Frankly, I'm not the least bit interested.
You should be. I'm not one to gossip, but I was up at the Grange yesterday, and, well, I don't like to speak out of turn, but if your Belinda was my daughter, I'd certainly have something to say about what was going on up there. They got
Daddy, are you sure you're all right? You've been abnormally quiet all the way back from the shops. If it's your leg, you should have stayed here.
It's not my leg. I've just had too much to think about.
Oh, dear. My fault for giving you fish for dinner last night. I'll go make some coffee.
No, sit down. I've got something to tell you. It's very important.
You've fallen in love and want my permission to marry.
Dear, I take no pleasure in what I have to say to you, but I experienced an unpleasant revelation in the pension queue.
Oh, Mr. Jessup forgot to button his fly again.
No, I'm serious, Belinda. Sit down. I know this will come as a bit of a shock to you, but it's as well you should know. It appears that Cochrane has another woman up at the Grange.
Oh, is that all? I know all about that. It was my idea.
Was what?
After all, there are some things you can't expect two men living on their own to do for themselves.
Do my ears deceive me? Are you condoning such lascivious conduct?
You've been listening to gossip, haven't you?
Well, yes. But it was gossip of the highest quality.
You shouldn't be so suggestible. The other woman in Nigel's life is Mrs. Tibbs, whom I recommended to clean up their midden.
I know about Mrs. Tibbs. It was Mrs. Tibbs who told me about the other woman.
Another other woman?
Yes, some typical American woman called Laura. I forgot to tell you, she called here. She wanted to buy my house. According to Mrs. Tibbs, she and Cochrane seem to know each other rather well.
Oh, Laura, yes. Oh, Nigel's told me all about her. She's just someone that he used to go out with in America, that's all.
I'm afraid that isn't all, Belle. She's Cochrane's wife.
Laura, love, there must be some sort of way that we can all sort all of this out quite amicably.
Yes, there is. I divorce you and get half of everything you own. That's the law.
She used to be such a young, sweet girl, didn't she?
That's right. I used to be young and sweet before I left my family in Buffalo to marry Nigel, where I became a vegetarian, lived in hotel rooms, put up with his obsessions, nursed him through all sorts of imaginary illnesses. He got the best years out of me. I gave up my career to support you, Nigel.
Career? What career? All you ever used to do was shop.
Yeah, look, don't aggravate her, Lem, all right?
I also advised you and guided your feet on the artistic pathway.
Fantasy Island.
So, Nigel, I think that I'm entitled to the house in Santa Barbara and the house in Hawaii. Or the forest in Wales and the horse ranch in Australia. We're flexible.
Well, that's really very considerate. Anything else?
No. Oh, yes, well, of course, my attorneys will need to audit your accounts to ensure that I get my rightful due.
Don't you worry, Nige. I'll make sure she gets everything what's coming to her.
Will you tell this guy that I do not get off on hostility?
Go on,
Okay,
go on.
okay, calm down, calm down. All we're talking about here, right, is half of absolutely everything.
Yeah, well, still leaves you, what, arm and a leg?
You're the editor, the Times, Printing House Square, etc. Dear Sir, as Virgil put it, with such precision, well, agmine facto ignavum fucos pecus a praecepibus arcent.
I didn't even get to speak to him. Right into the Times.
Good idea, so am I.
Daddy, there comes a time when eccentricity spills over into clinical insanity.
You're not well, Belle.
I'm talking about you.
Brandy, Belinda. Are you upset, my dear?
Upset? I'm bloody furious.
Trench language, Belinda.
I'm very sorry, but there are some of us who can't express all our feelings in Latin.
You've had it out with Cochrane, I take it.
We haven't had anything. He won't even answer the telephone. All I get is some stupid answering machine. Of course, now that Laura is back in his life, he doesn't need me anymore.
Does she teach piano, too?
Give me strength. How could he do this to me?
It's best you found out what sort of man he is before getting too involved. You can never win with his sort. Either he discards you because you won't submit to his vile demands, or he has his evil way with you, and then grows bored.
If you're asking me if I have been to bed with him, the answer is A, no, and B, it's none of your damn business if I have.
Of course it's my business. You're my little girl.
Oh, aren't I just?
I know it's an old cliché, Belinda, but there are plenty more fish in the sea. And we still have each other, you and I.
That's not enough.
Control yourself. Remember whose daughter you are.
Oh, how can I forget every waking minute of every bloody day I'm made to remember whose daughter I am? I'm nearly 32.
33.
And everywhere I'm still Mr. Purcell's Belinda, as though I didn't exist on my own. This little house and this little village, they're like a prison sometimes. That's why I felt so different with Nigel. He isn't hemmed in by parish boundaries. The world is his oyster. I thought perhaps he'd show me that world. But he saw me as an individual in my own right. Well, at least he made me feel
What did he make you feel?
as if I was different, special. An adult.
A woman, I suppose.
Well, what's wrong with that? I am a woman, you know. And now this Laura.
He's hurt you, hasn't he?
You're so perceptive.
I didn't realise how much Cochrane meant to you.
Neither did I.
You can't let him cast you off like an old...
Maid?
Precisely. You owe it to yourself to go down to the Grange and confront him man to man.
I'm not crawling to him in front of her.
I should think not. You must beard the beast in his den. Teach him not to trifle with your affections.
Well, how can I? I probably won't even get past the guard at the gate.
I want to see Cochrane.
He's in confront.
I don't care if he's in Constantinople. I want to see him. Now, open those damn gates.
Daddy, it doesn't matter.
I simply want a word with your master.
Go on then, but I didn't see you.
I'll tell Cochrane I pole vaulted in. Don't stand there gawping, boy. Push!
How'd you get in here? By parachute?
An old soldier's not without resource.
Let him go down the gatehouse and sack a meal again.
No.
Look, Belinda, look, I know it must look...
Rotten.
Rotten, right, the way that I've...
Behaving.
Yeah, right, but...
He can explain it all.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in your glib explanations. I fell for your shallow charms once, and once is enough.
Here.
I was foolish enough to believe that you actually respected the fact that I didn't care to leap into your bed at the drop of a hat.
Steady on, Belinda.
Quiet, Daddy. But now it turns out that you have Laura to fall back on, and I am choosing my words very carefully, and she is your wife. You are still married. It's incredible. I'm lost for words. And another thing...
Look, hold on, right? Hold on, look. It's not like that, right? Is it, Liam?
And here? Oh, no, just looks like that.
Yeah, right, it just looks like that, right? I mean, you've got to understand, right, Belinda? Like, we're not dealing with a normal person here, right?
Well, he admits it at long last.
No, I mean Laura, right?
You're frightened of her, aren't you?
No, look, I'm not frightened of her.
Try terrified.
Nigel, I don't know how you could say there's nothing to buy at Thurston's Echo. I found this most darling little shop.
So she's bought it.
Get rid of her, Liam.
It's only money, honey. Oh, I didn't know you had company.
How do you do? I'm Belinda Purcell. You must be Mrs. Cochrane.
Oh, so you're Nigel's little piano mistress. At last. Now I know why Nigel wasn't about to introduce us. Nigel, she could be quite pretty. Listen, sweetheart, you must let me take you to the beauty parlor.
How dare you, madam? My daughter has no need of paint and pancakes. She has the natural beauty of the English rose.
Nigel, I didn't know you had a gardener.
I keep telling you, madam, I am not a gardener.
You know, Nigel, you didn't do Miss Purcell justice. 60? She doesn't look a day over 45.
You told her I was 60.
Yeah, for your own good.
60! That is it, Mr. Cochrane. Daddy, we are leaving.
But I was just beginning to enjoy it.
Oh, but first, there is something that I owe you.
She's got a gun.
Oh, for goodness sake, this is not Dallas. Here, for lessons paid for and not received.
No. Belinda! Liam, go on, Liam!
Belinda, oh, come on. He needs you.
He needs tarring and feathering.
No, look, I mean, look at him over there. See, he's unable to cope with the real world. All the time, I've had to cover up for him. You leave him now. That's it, he's finished.
Come on, Bill.
Bye-bye, honey.
No, I'll join you in a minute, Daddy. There is something first that I have to ask Mrs. Cochrane. Lem, will you please show Daddy around the garden?
Yeah.
Oh, very well.
Oh, I thought you were leaving.
Yes, I was about to leave. But there's something that I have to ask you first. Why is it that Nigel was so desperate to prevent us from meeting?
Isn't she innocent? You're worth a lot of money to me, honey. Sure, Nigel plays me allowance, but now I can screw him for a really fat divorce settlement.
How sweet.
Isn't it just? And you can co-star as the other woman.
You know, I mean, I told her that, you know, that we
But it's
hadn't
neither
and
here nor
everything.
there. What you have to understand is that Nigel can't think straight because he's afraid of you. And you can't think straight because that is the sort of woman you are.
Yeah, it's the drugs.
Quiet, Nigel. And for some reason, you seem to assume that an English divorce court throws people's money around, the way that I've read that they do in America.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't afford to dump her over there, you see. 'cause it-
Sit down, Nigel.
Right.
Whereas in reality, if you divorce Nigel over here, you'll be lucky if they award you a one-way bus ticket to Gatwick, let alone alimony. Our judges don't have much time for selfish, immature, pampered, spoilt trollops like you.
All right. All right, then you'd like to see your name spread all over the gossip columns as Nigel's mistress?
No, but it would be ages before the case came to court. Could you survive over here for months? Especially if Nigel stops your pocket money.
Right.
Nigel tells me the sort of woman who suffers withdrawal symptoms if she loses her credit cards.
I wish I was taping this.
You'll get yours, Cochran.
Well, Nigel, it's up to you. If you're still scared of her...
Not half as scared as I am of you.
Nigel's bedroom door's still locked.
Yeah, he's still under sedation.
And I've got to get to the airport.
Oh, leaving us so soon?
You better believe it.
Ticket.
This place is too heavy for
Jockeys.
me. I can't wait to get back to the peace
Bag.
and quiet of Hollywood.
Handbag. What, tell Nige when he wakes up?
Just tell him that I feel real sorry for him, stuck with someone like Belinda. She's one tough old broad.
No, not really. You just caught her on a good day. After you. Have a nice day. Belinda, a champ. In you go.
The front door isn't usually locked.
No, but I thought it was a good idea until Laura was definitely out of the country.
Ah, she hasn't left us, has she? She didn't even say so long.
You really put the wind up a savage going over. I mean, a real turn up for the book.
Mind you, I had had a brandy or two.
Yeah. Also, the 10,000 smackaroos Nigel laid on, I must have helped a bit, you know.
I know I was very rude to Nigel.
No more than he deserved.
I really ought to apologise to him. Is he out?
Yeah, out to lunch.
But it's only 10:30.
Figure of speech, doll. Follow me. Come on.
Little man. He's had a busy day.